All right, fire them up!
You know, I actually heard somebody say that The Amateur is a dollar store version of Enemy of the State. Hmm. That's a real big insult to the dollar store. If you would have told me that in 2025 we would get a film where Rami Malek would go on a revenge tour after his wife got killed, I would have told you were crazy. And yet, here we are. Rami Malek stars in The Amateur as a CIA analyst, Charles Heller. After witnessing his wife be killed by terrorists, he decides to go and get revenge. But one thing is that he's a CIA analyst. Now, these are pretty much the geek squads that you see at Best Buy, but for the CIA. He's not really a field op. And in doing so, he has to find some sort of help to teach him how to be a stone cold killer. In walks Lawrence Fishburne to teach him the arts and trades and everything he needs in order to get revenge. But much to his chagrin, it doesn't really take hold. See, the thing about it is that Rami Malek's character, Charles Heller, is a very, very introverted man. The idea of going out there and guns a-blazing to get revenge is not something he would really do. So he does what he does best. He uses his smarts and tech in order to track these guys down and to exact his revenge. And that's pretty much the plot. 2 hours of it, in fact, and we watch Rami Malek, we watch his character track these guys down one by one, and we get to follow him along, but you really don't get any type of sense that he's actually in any danger, and you really don't come to care about his character all that much. I mean, you even get John Barenthal as the bear, and exact opposite of what Charles Heller actually is. Now, Charles Heller's character, he's the character who is very much introverted, very much stuck as a person who should be behind a desk, behind the screen, helping actual field ops. He doesn't belong out there in the world trying to kill people. And John Barenthal's character is the stereotypical machismo, very overt guy who doesn't mind being out there in the middle of danger because he knows he can handle himself. But the problem with that is that we don't get to see John Barenthal all that much. And it's kind of crazy because in the book that this film is adapted from, his character is pretty important, but we don't get enough of him in the film to get that idea that he's important. And thusly, like so many other characters, we just don't care about them. And the sad part about it is if this movie had spent more time on character work and just a little less time on the whole revenge arc thing, we might have been, a bit more interested in what goes on in the film. And one thing about the film that really bothered me is that the list of people that Charles Heller has to exact revenge on, it is way too short. It's really only 4 guys, and you see 2 of them in the trailer, and the one really cool kill that he gets when he detonates a pool that's suspended high above the city street, that you see that in the trailer. I honestly would not have thrown that in the trailer, and that just kind of falls under the whole idea that a lot of these trailers give away way too much of the film, and we've been talking about that for so long. But for me, still, the list that he has to exact revenge on is way too short. 4 people, honestly, if it would have been anywhere between 7 to 10 guys, it would have made more sense, especially with a 2-hour movie that, honestly, even though I like the film, it still drags on for slightly too long. And just like they wasted John Barenthal, they kind of wasted Rachel Brosnahan, who plays Charles Heller's, Rami Malek's character's wife. I mean, she's in the film, but she's not even talked about on the advertisements or at any point leading up to the film, which is kind of crazy. This is going to be Lois Lane in the new Superman movie. She's a big deal right now. I really would have thought that they would have used her to promote the movie, but unfortunately, they didn't. Now, I don't want you to think that I don't like the movie, because I really do like the film. One of the good things about it is that Charles Heller is such an introverted guy. I appreciate the fact that we get to see somebody who isn't a stone-blooded killer actually get his revenge. Somebody who could be me or could be you. We see tons of films all the time, like Enemy of the State and so many others where the guy is just capable of doing anything, and he does everything. But to see this particular character struggle with getting through these killings, getting through his revenge plot, but still pulling it off, it makes it believable, and at the same time it makes it more fun. Now, in Enemy of the State, Gene Hackman's character is the one who's actually doing everything, and just like that film, you see him use his brains, not brawn. And then Will Smith gets caught up in it in Enemy of the State. But in this one, Rami Malek does the exact same thing, and his character is kind of like a mashup between Gene Hackman and Will Smith's character from that film. But again, it's good to see somebody using their brains and not just all the guns and everything in order to get it done. Yes, he winds up blowing up a pool in, with the guy swimming in it, but getting him into that pool, getting him into place, and then blowing it up, he had to be really smart on how to do that. And I think that was pretty cool because we don't really get to see that a lot in films nowadays. And something else about this film I really do appreciate is that they do have all these call outs and callbacks to other films outside of Enemy of the State, like Jack Ryan and Jason Bourne and MacGyver and things like that, throughout TV and film, that they pulled little pieces from and they melded together in building this character and building this film. I think it's pretty cool because most people, especially nowadays, they're going to watch this film and they're going to say, hey, if they like it, they're going to see it and say, hey, is there anything else like this? And then all of these older characters and all of these older properties that most people have forgotten and have fallen out of favor, they're going to get new life. Like I said, I would love to see something like MacGyver have a film. I'm like, yeah, we had a TV show a few years ago, but it really wasn't that good. But something like MacGyver could take this as a stepping stone and come back into the spotlight. Jason Bourne has fallen way way out of the spotlight for quite some time now, but I mean, Jeremy Renner's on the mend. He was supposed to take over the franchise, but maybe because of something like this, now we can see more of the Bourne identity franchise come back into the light. So I appreciate them actually using all of these older films and older TV shows and using that as a platform to make Rami Malek's character feel real, feel like he's actually capable of doing it. And kudos to them in the acting and the directing, because you watch this film and you really do believe that he can pull these things off. And that's a big thing because, like I said in the beginning, you look at Rami Malek and you do not believe that he's one of those people who would be capable of anything of the sort. All in all, it's a very intriguing story to tell. Rami Malek is not your typical Hollywood leading man, but they pull it off, and they pull it off really well. In my opinion, this is a 6.5, 7 out of 10. It's one of those films that I would say, hey, you don't have to go to the theater and see it. If you get a chance to sit at home on some lazy Saturday and it just happens to pop up, go ahead and watch it. I don't think it's going to have legs to where it is one of those films where anytime it comes on, you want to see it, right? Enemy of the State, which is the closest comp to this that I can possibly think of off the top of my head. Whenever that comes on, most likely you'll sit there and watch it. This, I don't think, has that type of replay value, but once every so often, I'm pretty sure you'd watch it. Right now, it's a pretty good movie. It's one of the few movies I've seen this year where I'm like, you know what? This is just a good movie. No fluff. It's just straightforward. It is what it is, and I'm pretty sure you'll enjoy it. So that's The Amateur. You tell me what you thought about it, if you've seen it, or now that you've seen the review, are you actually going to go and watch it? Don't forget to check our Instagram page for more stories. I'm going to get out of here, and we shall end this video with the same way we do all the other videos. God bless. I love you, and peace. See you next time.